Hello Year 4 and welcome back to this week's art lesson. In today's art lesson we're going to be thinking about sunsets and silhouettes within a sunset of some cities across Europe. So, in the book we've been reading, Noah has now run away for quite a long time, so we could infer that he has seen some sunsets while he's been gone. Also, we have been learning about Europe as our topic this term, so our artwork is going to be based on art from across Europe. So, you're going to first off need to find a picture of a European landmark of your choosing. I have put some on your team's assignment for you so that you have some kind of guidance. I'm going to choose this one of Le Louvre, but I'm going to zoom it in a little bit so I've just got the focus on this middle section. So, you're going to need that reference picture in front of you at all times. The first thing that you're going to need to do is to decide where your horizon is. So on my one, my horizon is about a third of the way up the page. So I'm just going to go in and sketch in that horizon. And then going to draw my pyramids for the Louvre. Because I want it to be a straight line, I am going to get out my ruler. So the picture I've got has got the smaller pyramid sitting just in front of that taller pyramid. So I'm just going to draw my smaller pyramid. Don't think I've quite got that in the centre of the page. But I've got my small pyramid. Now I'm going to draw my larger pyramids. I'm going to make sure that they've got the same centre point. So now I've got the shapes of my pyramid that I want. This will add more I will add more detail to this in a little while. Before I do add any detail in, we're going to go in and start our background. Okay, as our background is going to be of a sunset, you're going to need some sunset inspired colours. So things like yellow, orange, red. You could also add in some purples because quite a lot of sunsets do have purple colours in them. You need dark blue. You might need a black for your silhouette to add in more depth. And I'm going to add in some more purples. So these are the kinds of colours that you're going to use for a sunset. If I look at my reference photo, just once more, up in this top corner I've got a dark blue purple and it's moving into some pink that then goes into an orange, it fades down to our yellow and red. So that's now what I'm going to recreate on my drawing. So make sure you're looking at your reference picture to make sure that you've got your patterns correct. So I'm just taking my dark blue first. I'm going to do that dark blue in the corner. If you colour in your pencil on its side, but also colouring from side to side, it will start to look more like a sunset. If you colour up and down, then it's not going to make the colours blend as nicely together as you'd want them to. Now I'm going to go in with a slightly more reddy pink so that I can start to mix in some of my reds and oranges. I'm going to get my orange colour. I'm just going to gently bend that over the edges of that pink. Now I'm going to leave a space and I'm also going to start bringing in some orange a bit further down, as my orange is then going to start blending into my red in a little while. I'm going to go in and fill in my gap now with my yellow. Now that I've done my yellow, I'm now going to start going in with my red, and I'm going to bring that red down to the horizon. Okay, now that I've finished my sunset, I'm going to go back in and start thinking about my ground now, because I can go back in and add the details to my Louvre at the end. So, if we look at my picture, I'm not going to add in all of these people, I'm just looking at the colours I've got. So mine's quite a deep purple, so I'm just going to pick a deeper purple colour. I'm just going to start shading in my ground in that colour that I have picked. Okay, now that I've added all of the colour to the floor, I'm going to go back in and add some of the details. So underneath the Louvre, it is some tiles and they are sort of diamond shapes. I'm just going to go in with a ruler and just gently draw some of those diamond shapes. Trying to make sure that they get a little bit bigger as they get closer to the foreground. Detail doesn't have to show up too much, just enough to show that it's not just a one flat colour. Now I can start thinking about going back in and adding the detail to my drawing of the Louvre. So it is my silhouette, so I'm just going to go in and make the complete outside edges a bit darker, and you can do this in a black pencil if you would prefer. I'm just going to take my ruler again and just going to go up and down my ruler like so, making sure that that outer edge is really dark. I'm going to do the same on the other side. And then I'm going to do the same on my smaller pyramid as well. The reason I've not done it on the other two is because in the picture they're at the background. So I'm just going to add my middle line on my front pyramid, and that one's at the different angle to the back one, so I'm making sure that it looks 3D. And then I'm going to start adding in my detail to the outside of the Louvre. So your one won't have the same detail as me, because you might not be doing the same picture, and that is fine. So now that I've got my outlines done, I'm looking back at my picture and I can see that these two sides are slightly darker than the middle, so I'm just going to go in and add some of my shading to my silhouette. So I'm just going to go in with my dark pencil. I'm just going to press darker at the top. You can still add tone to your silhouette, especially if it's something like a transparent object such as the Louvre. And I'm just going to go back in and add in some of that orange tone that's missing. Any extra detail that you think you're missing. So at the bottom of the Louvre, the smaller pyramid is sitting in a base, so I'm just going to add in that base. And then you should have your sunset picture. Here is one that I made earlier of the Eiffel Tower, so I have got two. So, there are options for pictures that you can use on your Teams files. You can pick whatever one you would like to do. Remember, you are doing a sunset background, so just your sunset colours. Also remember that it is a silhouette, so there shouldn't be any colours on your picture, just black or grey, so because it's your silhouette. Hope you enjoy this art lesson, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you produce. Once you have finished, please check that you've finished all art lessons from any other week and that you haven't got any pinks to complete. I will see you at 2:40 for our story time.